In the land where jollof meets hustle, where the spirit of the ancestors still dances through the dust and diesel, there once lived a woman so wealthy, even her shoes had drivers. Her name was Akara, a princess in the palace of cement and steel. Her laugh echoed through golden halls, and her tears were wiped by servants before they even fell. But her heart was a hollow drum. For what is wealth without true love? So she did what only the brave, or perhaps the broken, would dare. She disguised herself as an Akara seller in the streets of Lagos. And what she found would set her heart ablaze forever. Amaka was the golden daughter of Chief Okora, the cement king of the East. Her childhood was paved with shofars and chandeliers. Summer in Santorini, winters in Paris. Spring breaks in Dubai. Diamonds on her wrist, politics in her blood. At 16, she spoke French better than some Parisians. At 25, she could buy and sell companies with a signature. But love, real, breathing, stumbling love, eluded her like smoke in the harmattan. Yet no amount of silk or spa retreats could buy her what her spirit craved: love. Raw, real, and reckless. Not the kind that bowed to her father's checkbook. Not the kind that counted her jewelry before kissing her hand. Men approached her with flowers, yes, but behind their bouquets hid calculators. They saw a bank vault, not a beating heart. So, on her 29th birthday, standing before the grand statue of her late mother, Queen Obi, she whispered a vow: I will find a love that sees me, even if I must walk through dust and fire to do so. With Mama Ronk, her childhood nanny, Amaka disappeared into Lagos. Wigs off, heels buried. She scrubbed away her perfume, darkened her skin with burnt cocoa leaves, and wrapped herself in faded Ankara. Charcoal was rubbed into her skin till even her reflection doubted itself. The once daughter of palaces became Neka, the Akara seller of Ojulegba. It was there, amidst frying smoke and shouting conductors, that fate smiled upon her. She met him. Tobi. Tall like an Iroko tree kissed by morning dew. A man whose smile could stop a fight at mile 2. His laughter was music, and his eyes carried stories too heavy for careless women to understand. Tobi, a man who carried her Akara tray without shame, who fetched water, and who paid for every puff-puff he took, even if it meant emptying his pockets. Tobi was no ordinary man. He bought Akara daily, even when he claimed he was broke. He waited for her after sales and helped her wash bowls without shame. When she coughed from the smoke, he brought bitter leaf water. When she smiled at a small sale, he clapped like she won the lottery. For the first time, Amaka wasn't a trophy. She was a queen in the eyes of a commoner, or so she thought. Day by day, Tobi sat with her. No fine suits. No fancy phones. Just laughter and long talks about dreams under the orange evening skies. He told her of his love for simple things, groundnut soup, village festivals, and honesty. He gave her a necklace, a carved wood pendant from his late mother, and told her, "To me, you are royalty." And oh, Amaka believed him. In his presence, she was not chief's daughter. She was a woman, a queen, a heartbeat. For the first time in years, her laughter was unguarded. Her smiles were not rehearsed. She found in Tobi a rare thing, home. As their love blossomed under the sun and soot of Ojulegba, Tobi found himself at war. His family had arranged his marriage to Kemi, daughter of a southern dynasty, to solidify power and fortune. Contracts were signed. Engagement ceremonies were whispered. Duty called him one way, but his heart pointed to Neka, torn between the love that fed his soul and the empire that fed generations. Tobi stood at the crossroads where even kings tremble. Amaka, ready to reveal her true self, invited Tobi to the grand gala of her foundation. She wore a gown of midnight blue, stitched with gold threads that caught every light. She sent a Rolls Royce to pick him up, heart pounding with hope. The doors of the banquet opened. Tobi entered. It took her breath away. Tobi stepped in with the charm of a prince, tall and handsome. There and then, he locked eyes with Kemi, daughter of another oil dynasty. She approached him with so much familiarity and audacity, wrapping her arms around him. Kemi, a woman glowing with a child. A woman he had been betrothed to since they were teenagers, a union arranged to bind two empires together. Tobi's eyes locked onto Amoka's across the hall. Pain, regret, longing. Everything he couldn't say screamed from his soul. Tobi, too, was hiding a secret. Born to Chief Ayodele, the richest oil mogul in Nigeria, Tobi had fled the suffocating world of boardrooms and expectations, where every handshake was a transaction, where every smile masked calculations. He had chosen instead to live humbly, to taste freedom, to be seen. Not for his billions, but for his beating heart. He did not come to Ojulegba to find love. But in the smoke of Akara and the fire of Amoka's spirit, he found something richer than any oil field. He found home. Amoka, heart thundering, pulled him aside. Tobi, why? After all this time, were you lying to me too? He shook his head, broken. Tears welled in his eyes, not crocodile tears, real tears, from the depth of a man shackled by duty. Amoka, you treated me like a king, when I had nothing to offer but myself. Not my father's name. Not my wealth. Just me. He whispered, you are my freedom. You are my home. But my life was sold long before I found you. Tobi, poor Tobi, his eyes heavy with the burden of 1,000 choices. He whispered, I loved you, Amoka. Every moment, every Akara, every laugh. But you're the daughter of the Okwara Empire. And me, I'm trapped. I cannot betray my bloodline. Not without burning down everything. Tears welled up but did not fall. Pride caged them in both their eyes. And so, the boy who had everything knelt before the girl who had disguised herself with nothing. And they wept. Amoka walked away that night. Her spirit bruised, but her soul richer. She never sold Akara again. Not because love was absent, but because duty and destiny had tangled themselves into a noose. She built a home instead, not just for herself, but for women whose hearts had been broken by ambition, by duty, by promises made in another lifetime. And in her journal, now resting beneath her mother's statue, she wrote, to test love, I wore poverty like a gown. To test power, he wore humility like a crown. But fate is a stubborn child. Sometimes, two true lovers meet, only for the world to tear them apart. So if you see an Akara seller by the roadside, smile. For behind every woman in dust, there might be a queen hiding her crown. And to those who sell their hearts for gold, may your Akara always burn.
If this story spoke to you, don't scroll past. Subscribe, like, and share this with someone who's on their own silent journey. And in the comments, tell me, when was the last time you really saw yourself?